Hey guys, welcome to my Ubering around again. Today I'm going to talk about how God is healing me from childhood trauma. This is present moment sort of stuff for me. Over the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, God has really started a process of having me face things that I didn't want to deal with. That I wanted to believe I was healed from because I had forgiven, but that didn't make me whole just because I had forgiven. That didn't actually heal my heart or teach my heart new lessons I needed to know, because trauma changes how you believe about yourself. That's the most damaging part about it. As a child, you try to process it in the best way your child brain can, and most times it ends up with you believing something less about yourself, that you must not be worth much if someone can treat you that way, you know. I personally went through sexual abuse growing up, very young, within family and close friends, essentially, at a very young age. And I blocked it out, but I was left with the emotion of it most of my life. I was left with the anxiety, the feeling of not being safe, like just not at rest within my soul, not at rest within who I am. And I lived an uneasy, anxious life. Thinking back on school, elementary, middle school, high school, at not one point throughout my schooling did I feel at rest within myself. I'm Ubering, so I just got a ride. So this will be a part 1 of many. I think this is the beginning of a conversation, but I had a lot of anxiety growing up, and I basically just moved on and tried to live my life and aimed to do so. And I'm now 27, and God is really healing me now from something that occurred when I was like 4 or 5. Really, my earliest memories. I don't have memories of not feeling like in a state of trauma, in a state of like panic from my earliest times. And it left me with a shame that I tried to cover my whole life. I felt ashamed of myself. I didn't know my worth anymore. My worth was defined by the things I walked through, and I just tried to live and manage. But how God is healing me now, though, is in rest. God is calling me away to rest in Him, to be still, and Holy Spirit is bringing up in me all of the things that I've ran from, but with a gentleness to show me something new in the middle of it, to untether me from the pain that I've walked through, what it did to my heart, what it did to how I see myself. And so currently I'm Ubering around, and this is like my primary job, basically. I Uber and drive Lyft, and God is just teaching me in rest to stay in rest in all times. And I'm having things leave me like every day. Like, there's just endless opportunities for God to heal me at any time. So God's showing me how to surrender, how to trust God, that I'm safe, by putting me in lots and lots of different environments with different people. to show me what I'm believing, and then to show me the way out of that belief, to teach me how, like, another way to see things. Because trauma taught me that I'm not safe. It taught me that, or the ways I coped with it, that I need to maintain those coping strategies. And if I don't do that, something bad is going to happen. Like, you know, there's so many layers to this. So this really is the start of an ongoing conversation. But, like, this is really my heart to open this conversation, to continue to share. And I actually haven't done, like, cut videos before. So I might just, like, cut whenever I need to go and then pick this conversation up and put the videos together. I don't know. But yeah, it's incredible though. Like, God is healing me by showing me to rest, to live in peace. And then in that place of peace, I discover what's going on in my heart. I can hear my heart. I can hear it quaking. I can hear it, what it's afraid of. And then God's showing me, like, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Showing me what I believe about myself because I guess as a result of what that taught me, like the shame essentially that I've carried. God shows me what I'm believing and then guides me out of it and reminds me, like, you know, that's not even true about you at all. Like, your value doesn't come from embellishments or whatever. Like, the things I've done to cover my trauma, the things I've done to be acceptable, to live normal. So I think a big part about going through trauma, it's like, I just want to be normal. Like, why should I be defined by what somebody else did to me? I want to move on, and I want to prove that I'm okay by acting okay. I can join the rest of the kids. I can live like everybody else. And that is true. The victim of trauma should be able to fully rejoin life and live as the kid that they were prior to what happened to them. The issue is, what happens in those moments is it actually creates a wound in the soul that needs to be healed. It needs to be addressed. And this isn't something I've been willing to talk about until, like, in my, like, leaving high school years. I was, like, riddled with so much anxiety and stuff, and like I needed to talk. I needed healing. Like, I was not okay, you know. And it's taken years since then still to really peel back to want to deal with what it actually is. My soul was just shut down within itself, and I try to talk to people, and but the beliefs I got from it, the beliefs that I got from it were just, it really messed with me. Like, I didn't know that I was worth someone else's time, really. And I was still performing to even have the relationships and not getting the conversations that my heart needed. I've just passed up the person I need to pick up, so yeah. Not exactly sure where I left off, but yeah, God is healing me through resting and letting the trauma out. It's a sovereign act of God. I'm watching stuff come up and out of me. So God's teaching me how to abide in the presence of God, how to be still and know that He is there. And I'm watching God bring this stuff up and out of me. It is very physical. Trauma is embedded in the soul, but it's in the body too. The body reacts. We hold trauma in different areas. I've held it in my stomach. I grew up, literally, I can remember as a child sitting at the dinner table just to eat, and I'd be at a loss for breath. I'd be short of breath. I'd be trying to just say something like, yesterday I did such and such, and I'm like, getting more air. Like, I lived that way for years. I'm sure people who knew me probably noticed something about me, but anyways, I tried to act okay. That was my strategy, personally. Literally, long story short, I'll continue to share, but healing is happening as I drive around, as I learn to just be still, as I learn to prioritize that I'm worthy of rest, that I don't have to perform, that I get to just be attentive to my own needs. This does relate to me being an Enneagram 2, which is my chosen coping strategies, essentially, and how I've dealt with things. By the way, if you're interested in anything about understanding personality types, coping strategies, things of that nature, head over to my other YouTube channel. It's called Typology Corner. You can find it easily by going to the channel page of Rachel Castille and scroll down to the bottom, and my other channels are listed there. But yeah, I talk about this stuff more in detail on the Enneagram and objective personality, how we're wired and stuff. But yeah, I'm watching God show me a new way, show me my value apart from what I've walked through, the identities I've built, and yeah, I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy to receive love, to be healed, to be restored. In the present moment, it all happens by being present. I think that's the biggest thing. How God is healing me is by encouraging me that I'm safe in the present. I'm safe in the present moment. Just made a wrong turn. But yeah. So yeah, it's going good. What I do, I drive around, and I also start my morning in rest, in a place of journaling, a place of telling God what I'm feeling in my heart. I've begun to express that, like God has become my safe place, and then God leads me into other safer places and teaching me that safety can be with me all day, that is a reality that I dwell in, and in safe places healing happens. And also, when you're at rest, healing happens. So if you're not at rest, you're not receiving healing. Healing is something that God is sovereignly doing. And in order to dwell in it, live in it, receive it, you got to know that you're safe enough to rest, and then enough to receive. And then, stay in receiving. Cultivate that rest with an expectation of more breakthrough. And so that's it for today. I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Stay tuned for more. This is just an ongoing conversation. I know I'm called to share on this topic. So, yeah. All right, guys. Be blessed.